We are back after a week off. Chadthemark went down south. Mr. Brown went to Wrigley. And you know what? It's summertime, so we got plenty to talk about. This is the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. Stay tuned. Welcome back once again to the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. It's Chadthemark with
Mr. Brown
and
Canadian Big A
and
Turbo Tommy.
And did you get the boat back in the water there, Tommy?
Yes, I got it. It took 2 days, about 8 hours each day. Got it back in. It's running perfectly.
What are the 2 best days that you own a boat?
I haven't seen the last one yet, but the first one's the bind.
It's the day you buy and the day you sell it, man. That's it.
I enjoy my boat.
So we're all in agreement the next week's episode is going to be labeled Boats and Hoes.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, we can do that.
I produce
Boats and bitches is what I want to say.
So disgusting.
From the canal, watching the fireworks go off, do a special Saturday episode.
Go to the regatta? You got a regatta.
What the heck was that?
I don't know what that was. That's why you don't get your own mic, because of things like that. But, yeah, I'm glad to be back. We didn't have a show last week. I did, an SEC vacation. I don't know. I just went down to the SEC country and saw some things. But, Mr. Brown, you had a sports-related trip last weekend. You went to
Wrigley Field for a day game. It was amazing.
So tell me all about Wrigley. I'm excited you got to go, but is it everything you thought it would be?
Yeah, I was telling Tommy before you got here, I've been to a World Series Braves victory game, and, this was up there with that, because I was in awe when I came in and saw when I came up the concourse there and stepped out and saw the field, the wind was blowing in, the flags, the old scoreboard, the ivy. I was like, it literally took my breath away. And I've been to Fenway, but it was a long time ago, so I didn't really appreciate it like I would now, so I've got to go back. But it was an amazing experience. A day game, of course. The vendors were even the old school vendors. They're like, get your hot dogs here.
Cold beer, ice cold beer.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was even double the amount that's in Atlanta. So it was they really loaded up on their vendors. And, when you walk around on the concourse at most stadiums now, it's all concrete. This is all individual bricks that they initially put in back 100 years ago. So you're literally walking on a brick walk path all the way around the stadium, which was amazing.
Good crowd.
Oh, it was sold out. I think it was 40K was there.
So what's the Chicago fan base like in person?
They were very nice to me. I was rocking the red Matt Olson jersey. But they were just no one talked crap to me at all. No one ever said anything bad to me. It was basically because the Cubs won 6-3, so I got to witness the Go Cubs Go, which was catchy. I mean, I wanted the Braves to win, but it was cool to see in person. That and then the beer cup snakes and the bleacher seats. They were going in left field. It went from left field to the top bleacher seat all the way down to the ivy in left field. And then right field was trying to catch up with them, and they were just talking shit back and forth to each other, just Cubs fans yelling at each other because, drink your beer faster.
That's what
baseball's
all about.
But they weren't talking crap at all because, the Cubs won, but they're, looking at me we suck, we know. We don't know how we're beating you, so you just
give us this one.
They're like, you just picked a bad day because everything was lined up perfect. Kyle Wright was going on the mound, our most consistent pitcher so far. The Japanese phenom wasn't even playing. He's on the IL. And then you had Patrick Wisdom went out. He was hurt. And everything was stacked against the Cubs, and they still won 6-3.
Well, at least you got to hear Go Cubs Go.
It was cool. And then just the different dynamic of where you can't park around the stadium. So we found a parking garage in downtown Chicago. We parked there. We rode the purple line, had to figure that. I had to Google it so I could understand it. So I realized you take the purple line to the end, jump on the red line, drops you off at Addison, which is a block from Wrigley, and then you just follow the Cubs jerseys right to the stadium. So it was cool.
Didn't need a map once you got off the train. Just follow the jerseys.
It was really cool. It's something I want to do again. And now that I've kind of assessed the situation.
Might be able to enjoy it more next time.
And I'm taking the son back next time because he was really upset that he didn't go this time. I said, son, after all these death threats and stuff, people in my own groups tell me, you're going to die this weekend. You're not coming back. So I had to assess the situation. But now that I feel better about it, I'm taking him. But I will say, we drove past the south side and the Sox Stadium. That part was sketchy.
Yeah, a little sketchy.
So I don't know about that. It would have to be a day game, but I would definitely go back to Wrigley
So when
again.
you drove by, I was like, roll them up.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
All right. So
Amazing.
I'm glad you got to go. Jealous of the experience. My question is, did you eat anywhere real nice in Chicago?
Yeah, we actually.
We get old, we just like talking about food, don't we?
Yeah, but who doesn't love food when you're traveling? You want to get the local flavor. But
Oh, yes.
we got to eat at Illuminati's, not the Illuminati.
The Illuminati.
The
Truth is out there, people.
deep dish pizza that was recommended by former Cardinals, Braves reliever Ray King, Everyday Ray.
Friend of the show, Ray King.
We've interviewed him a few times. He said, if you want some deep dish pie, you go to Illuminati's. So there you go. And it was really good. I only could eat 2 slices and I was stuffed. And I see why they call it a pie, because you couldn't eat it without a fork. Yeah, it was nice.
Question for you at the stadium. I remember watching WGN when I was a kid growing up, and you always had like Waverly, the apartment. Everybody'd sit on the roof and watch. Is that still a thing, or is that not?
They have now all the apartments across the street it just says Cubs bleacher seats, and everyone's sitting up there, and it's all over the outfield. And the funny thing is, there was one in right field, and because they're not affiliated with the Cubs. This is just the apartment owners trying to cash in on some money. Well, they put in a huge ass scoreboard in right field and blocked all those seats, so they're just sitting there empty. So their investment's over. It was like 20 seats.
That's good and bad.
So you have the original wooden scoreboard in center where they have to change the numbers by hand.
Manually.
And then you got the updated scoreboard in right field, which blocked all those apartment seats, just in right field only.
So how are the seats at Wrigley? They're still the like original old metal hard.
I'll tell you this. They're more comfortable than sitting beside of you in Atlanta.
You know, that's just because I need 2 seats.
You would like these seats better.
Okay.
They're more spacious. And then like, what am I trying to say?
I don't think it matters at this point. I think the
With all
damage,
due respect.
the damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving.
But hey,
That's why I needed an aisle seat so I could put half my belly in the aisle.
real quick, Friday I'm going to Cincy to check out the Reds and Braves. We've been there several times, but my son hasn't been there. Going to show him the Hall of Fame. If anyone hasn't been to the Hall of Fame, it's 3 stories of great baseball history. Takes you right into the team shop. That's going to be fun. We're actually going to stay in Covington and just walk to the game and then stay
you go.
there. And then, we'll talk about the next one for the next show.
All right, so I can't even remember if we had a chance to really talk about the NBA Finals wrapping up. But anyway, we know the Warriors won. Curry got his Finals MVP. And the question that has been kind of going around, and we talked about this a little bit, and we decided let's just do it on the show. We talk about like the face of the NBA. Who is the face of the NBA right now? Is it Giannis? Is it Curry? Is it still LeBron? Like, what's your thoughts just starting there?
I kind of think it's Giannis right now. He's the youngest guy. He should have won his MVP this year. I know the Joker won back-to-back MVPs, but to me, coming off a championship season, it's Giannis as the face of the league.
See, I personally feel like it's LeBron until he retires.
I'm with you.
Because everyone has an opinion of LeBron. They either love him or hate him. And Giannis don't have that same concept.
No.
So it's like he's like the villain or he's the GOAT.
So
That's it.
The other one that's similar to that, I think, is Steph Curry. And there can be an argument made that Curry might be the face of the NBA.
I would argue that Curry is the face over Giannis.
I would too. And Curry does more, sponsors and commercials and things like that.
Let me say this though. The fact is, Giannis. I'm not saying Giannis isn't the best player.
No, we're just talking about image wise.
Correct.
How the public.
I think Giannis is the NBA's like go-to guy for the next decade.
Right.
Well, I think I misread that a little bit. I heard what you said, but to me, Curry is more of the face of the league in that more players emulate him at a younger
Well,
age.
we've had the conversation ad nauseum about the impact that players have had over the history of the league, and Curry is one that we always put on that top 5. The reason why, I kind of bring it up is like Mr. Brown, you and I were talking about LeBron and Curry. I think they're hand in hand. And LeBron's been there longer. He's more established, arguably the bigger name. But Curry is just won another title, and he's part of a dynasty. And the question is, in the annals of history, when we look back, who's going to be the bigger representation of this era? Is it going to be LeBron or is it going to be Curry?
I think it's Curry, and I don't think it's close.
So Curry's
got
already
time
past
left.
him?
Yeah, because if you look at playing basketball, and we see this with youth kids. I can remember coaching 3rd and 4th grade basketball, and you'd have every kid there at 4'9" trying to shoot 3-pointers, and that's because of Steph Curry. Every kid, even though they can't be Steph Curry with the handles and the shot, they think they can do that. You're not going to be 6'8", an athletic freak like LeBron is. Steph Curry's impact on the game and how it's played is the greatest thing that we will have seen in the history of basketball when we look back on it in 20 years.
Let me ask you this. So they both have 4, correct?
Yes.
And I got LeBron's a little longer in the tooth here, but let's say he somehow wins another title, probably by jumping away from the Lakers to
the Warriors. And then
no, that negates my argument.
It would.
Let's say LeBron somehow wins 5, and then Curry never wins another one. Is it still Curry?
To me, it is because his impact on how the game is played.
No, I agree with that 100%.
I don't think
With
everybody
his
looks at it
ability
that
to
way,
win.
though. I think LeBron.
That's how I look at it.
LeBron, he's a billionaire on his own merit of being a player. I mean, he also has made the worst movie.
He is
ever.
the first
He won a
active
Razzie.
player that's a billionaire.
Correct.
Ever.
So, like that.
Well,
that
here's the
goes
other
to
thing
something.
about LeBron. You want to talk about, okay, he wins another one, so then he would have been to 11 finals and won 5.
Right, correct.
With the bubble chip where they were all stoned, zoinked out, TJ Warren scoring 47 a night. Well, then what about Tim Duncan, who won 5 and was the best player in his era as well? To me, the thing about LeBron and Curry, if you want to talk about the same era, is you can't go down as the GOAT
Dude,
when
stop.
you have a player in your era who does what they do.
Duncan never dominated the game, and especially in the latter
But he
part
brought
of his
up, well, if he
career.
wins another title, he's this.
It's not. No,
Look
it's
at
not
Kobe,
just,
who
it's
won
not
5.
just about titles.
It's not- and it's just not about-
It's
yeah.
about their. How does the league view them? So, like, let's be honest. The players still look at LeBron. They're starting to dim a little bit on it, but they still look at LeBron as that idolized picture, right? I don't know if they look at Curry the same way. And I think
it's because he's not as physically intimidating.
he's not, but he still has just as much of an impact on the game. So my statement though is I think it's close, but Curry hasn't quite passed LeBron as far as that status check goes. If he gets another one, he probably will. The things that go in his favor are the fact that he's been on the same team. They've done this.
What's the age difference?
Curry's 34 and LeBron's 38.
It's that close? Curry's 34?
Curry came into the league in 2009, and LeBron came in 2003.
Yeah.
But Curry went to college.
Did he play 4 years of college?
No, he did not.
Curry is 34?
Here, you want to
Born March
make it feel really
14th,
old?
1988.
Curry played against Blake Griffin in college,
Yeah, I believe that.
and look at Blake Griffin now. He's barely in the league. Like
If you want to know a funny tidbit, where is LeBron from?
Akron.
Where was Steph Curry born?
Akron.
There you go.
It's 'cause- does his dad play on the Cavs at the time?
I don't know. They must have been,
Maybe it was a road game.
yeah.
He was probably banging LeBron's mom just like David, what's his name?
Delonte
West. He was getting a line behind Dell.
Hey, props to Delonte, man. He's turned his life around.
I just think
Hey, it depends what week it is. One week he's panhandling, the next week he's found Jesus.
down at Mark Cuban's ranch.
The Bunny Ranch.
No,
Maybe
no,
the Hughes
no,
Ranch.
No, not that. So
He's in a grotto.
for me, the argument with the LeBron and the rings thing is it kind of has faded out a little bit. Even if he were to win another one, I know it's great.
he's lost so many, it's hurt it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But here's the thing. I'm going to throw these questions out here, and I want you guys to answer. There's no trick question here. I'm just looking for your realistic answer. If I was to ask you who is the best defensive player of all time, who would you say?
LeBron.
Defense?
No.
Right now, he's won five
All time.
defensive-
All time.
All time. Oh, I thought
time.
You,
No.
I'll take it. I thought you meant between
Not
those
between
two.
the two, just in NBA
My bad,
history.
my bad.
Who would you say is the best defensive player? Tommy can't think now. He done
Yeah,
messed
you
up.
got me
Biggie,
thinking.
what would you say? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just asking.
I have two choices. Can I go first?
Yeah,
You can go
ahead.
first.
Bill Russell and Michael Jordan.
All right, Bill Russell would be one I'd put in there for sure.
I was going to throw Michael Jordan, 9-time all first defensive, 9-time first team all defense.
I just wanted to throw a post player in there because the way he dominated.
You could say Rodman. I
Right.
mean,
Well, I'll throw a name out there as a little lesser known guy, Bruce Bowen.
yep. You could say Gary Payton. I mean, there's names you could throw out there. All right, so how about who is the best passer of all time?
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Maybe you could say Stockton, but I think
Pistol
most people-
Pete, baby.
I'm gonna say Magic.
I'm going to say
Pistol
Stockton.
Pete.
Magic was more flashy.
Okay.
Stockton did it the right way.
All right, best winner ever.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell
Bill
or
Russell,
Michael Jordan.
All right, so we got some different answers here. Who's the best shooter of all time?
Steph Curry.
Curry.
Bird.
It's not Bird. You know, it's not.
Bird wishes he was Steph Curry.
Tommy ruined my point. Was that it's kind of like when you say who's the best receiver of all time, everybody
No,
says
so here's
Jerry
the thing,
Rice. You know what
that's
I mean?
not shitting on Larry Bird. In all seriousness,
No,
I'm
it's
saying that
not.
because Mike's beside me, Mikey, my brother Mikey. He loved Larry Bird, but the fact is, Larry Bird, in my opinion, is a better overall player than Steph Curry, and it's not close. But Curry's specialized shooting is better than anybody ever.
Correct. And I think as his career continues to wind down and he's not able to take people off the dribble as much and things like that, he's still going to have a place in this league because of his skill set. Like people don't like he's the most prolific 3-point shooter in NBA history, and the only guy close to him is James Harden. And James Harden's like 500 threes behind him, so he ain't ever going to catch him.
Look at freaking Kyle Korver. He's in the league just coming off the bench, just popping like 4 threes and heading back to the bench.
Well, the thing is, it's not even that Curry is just the high volume 3-point shooter. He's top 10, or I think he might be 12th actually, in career 3-point percentage.
With the amount that he jacks
He just had his worst year ever in accuracy as a 3-point shooter.
First time he ever shot under 40% from 3-point
It
line.
was 38%, which is what Trae Young shot from downtown.
He needs to take some lessons from Coach Steve Kerr.
Who is
52%.
the best in NBA history.
52, right?
Well, the other part of it, like-
I don't think it's 52, but he's number one all time.
If you go pound for pound, you can say, oh, Steph Curry's not even in the top 10. Look what this guy, look what that guy can do. But his impact on the game is number 1 or 2 overall. When you look at this, Duncan Robinson signed a huge contract with Miami Heat where he got like $60 million for 4 years.
Yes.
What does Duncan Robinson do? He shoots threes, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's turned the league into where guys like that get picked. Kyle Korver will be 47, still spotting up in the corner.
Sorry.
That's all right. I got distracted too.
I saw a thong.
We're watching wrestling in the background.
Dong,
Blood and
dong,
Guts
dong,
AEW. All right, so to wrap
Cisco.
close it up. Well, my point is, I think Curry still has the potential to move way beyond that because when you look at where they're at in their careers, who's more likely to win the NBA championship next year, the Warriors or the Lakers, right?
I don't know. The Lakers are running it back.
They're going to run them back.
Yeah, the Lakers got the Mason, Russ Westbrook. They got the old man James, and they got
Everybody around
Mr. Glass.
everybody around the
AD.
league is applauding that decision.
You know,
They're
he
excited.
makes $47 million this year. So just like we've always talked about Joe Flacco's agent, you need to put Russ Westbrook's agent in a damn Hall of Fame yesterday.
Hell yes.
47 million?
Westbrook.
The biggest, most prolific bricklayer of all time. I mean, who's paying those prices for masonry?
All right, so one of the things that makes our social media so exciting is, Mr. Brown, you specifically like to throw out these questions, and people typically get riled up a little bit. And, you know, there's always those typical questions like, who's better, LeBron or Jordan, that, you know, Biggie always loves to do in his basketball group.
Biggie's got every LeBron James meme in the history of LeBron.
Yes, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go to NFL. And instead of-
Secretly, he's got the same amount of man crush on LeBron as I do Freddie Freeman. He don't want to admit it.
is anybody crying about it?
He is internally.
That's
Oh, that's my ulcers bleeding.
So now that we've gone through WebMD and diagnosed Biggie's bleeding ulcers, let's talk a little running backs. You know, we're in the dog days of summer here. We don't have a lot of NFL stuff going on because we can only talk about sexual predators so much.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just transition to running backs. And you threw out.
And it's easy, first of all, to pick like the Barry Sanders, Jim Browns, and Walter Paytons of the world.
Right, you didn't do that.
I picked out four running backs that ranges anywhere between 15 and 25.
3 of them are Hall of Famers. 1 of them will probably
Correct.
The 4th one will probably get in, I would
Right.
guess. Edgerrin James, Marshawn Lynch, Jerome Bettis, and Terrell Davis. So, starting us off, do you guys your question was rank them 1 through 4.
Correct.
So who wants to go first so we can just
Edgerrin James, Jerome Bettis, Terrell Davis, Marshawn Lynch.
Okay. So Terrell Davis is the wild card here, right?
Yes.
Because of the limited amount.
Yes, he did have some extreme peak, great prime. It gets a little elevated for me because he played on a team that won 2 Super Bowls. He was great, but one thing I would like to say, yes, he did have a 2,000-yard season in a same system that guys like Travis Henry and every other bum from Miami ran for 1,500 yards in. So was he a hair better than them or slightly better? Yes, but it's not as though he was Barry Sanders out of that backfield.
All right. So, Tommy, where would you rank Edge, Marshawn, Bettis, and TD? Biggie's got to give you the mic.
It's I know that people's gonna be thinking, why not Bettis? But it's Edgerrin James, Jerome Bettis, Marshawn Lynch, Terrell Davis. The slack on Davis was the injury. I think if he had been able to prolong his career, he'd have probably inched his way on up through there. He did have some phenomenal seasons. Edgerrin James, just people overlook him.
So you guys are kind of like baseball writers. You're just criticizing Terrell Davis because he didn't play 20 years.
It is what it is. I mean, an injury is an injury. I mean,
all right. So, but
He's a part of the game.
I mean, you could go with Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson would have probably been the best player ever.
You were going to say, though, don't overlook Edge, right?
Yeah, Edge is phenomenal.
All right, so you kind of stole my thunder. I'm going Edge at 1, the Bus at 2. I'm going Marshawn at 3 because he did play for the Raiders, even though Pete Carroll had to give him the ball on the 1.
Homer.
And then I'm putting Terrell Davis last, not because I'm being a baseball guy, but because I hate the Broncos. And the fact that he probably got carpal tunnel from doing that Mile High Salute so many times, that's why he had a short career, because he got carpal tunnel. So I'm going Terrell last.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to go. I'm conflicted. I'm real conflicted.
Be the opposite of voice of reason here.
I'm actually
The thing I'm most interested in as you go through these is that all 3 of us have had TD as 4th. That's the only person I care where you rank them.
Like, really, when you look at the list, honestly, if I was being honest, it would be Marshawn Lynch would be 4th. But I can as a Raiders fan.
So I'm.
It's TD.
Then I should have put Bettis 1.
I'm gonna put Bettis 1.
Nice.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
From a Bengals fan.
Right. And so a part of that is maybe me being soul crushed from watching him just like he was impossible.
So many games on CBS growing up.
So many.
Yeah.
And so painful. Like you knew Bettis was getting at least 80 yards against the
And
Bengals.
the Berman. He's rumbling and he's stumbling.
Stumbling.
Yeah, I mean it scarred me. But Bettis, he played a long time at a pretty consistent level. I give him props for that.
And a big dude, man.
Big dude.
How did he have that longevity as a dude that size?
He was like a ballerina out there.
Yeah, he wasn't just a
He
bulldozer.
was. He was out there like 200. Was he 280 or so?
He had like 260,
All right,
And happy feet.
Edge number 2,
way.
Marshawn number
There's no
3, and Terrell Davis number 4. But if I had to pick one season, I would definitely pick Terrell Davis
For the peak.
As far as that goes. So I have the stats pulled up here. It took me a while to collaborate these. So out of the 4, who had the most yards?
Out of those 4, who Jerome Bettis.
Do you agree?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Edge.
Bettis had 13,662. Edge had 12,246.
Oh, that's close, though.
And then Marshawn had 10,413. Terrell Davis, by the way, is at 7,600.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
he had half the amount of carries that Bettis had.
Okay.
All right. Who had the most touchdowns? Who had the most rushing touchdowns?
That is going to be.
How do you not have Bettis as the most when he's a goal line back? Like, he's got to be the guy.
James had like 80 touchdowns, right?
He had 80 touchdowns. You are correct.
Tommy.
That puts him third.
Oh, okay. It's Bettis.
It's Bettis, Marshawn, and then Edge, and then
Marshawn number 2 with TDs. That's impressive.
85.
Yeah.
So clearly Bettis is the number 1 here.
91 for Bettis.
Yep.
Okay.
Almost
By the way,
100 rushing touchdowns.
I checked. Bettis weighed 252.
That's a lie.
that's a
That's a
lie.
lie. That's a lie.
That's like a wrestling bio.
That's where like you're 6'3", but they list you at 6'6".
yeah.
That's like Charles Barkley.
Yeah, that's exactly
He's
what that
6'8".
is. All right, how about yards per carry? Who do you think had the best yards
Edge.
per carry?
TD.
Probably TD.
TD. It's
Shorter career.
4.6.
Where was Edge at?
Edge was an even 4.
Okay.
Lynch was 4.2.
Wow.
And
okay.
then Bettis was 3.9.
All right, that makes sense, though. I knew
A lot of those
last.
like goal line carries, short yardage.
Who had the most receiving yards?
Oh, Edgerrin James.
Yeah, right.
Do any of the other two combined equal his receiving yardage?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Edge was only 3,300 yards, while Marshawn was 2,200.
Okay.
And then Bettis was even at 1,500. And Terrell Davis in the short career was at 1,200.
Impressive.
For receiving touchdowns, Edge was 11. Marshawn was 9. Bettis was 3. TD was 5. So I don't remember TD being that good out of the backfield, but apparently he was a solid-ass receiving option. The yards per catch were all about the same, 7.5 to 7.8. So now that we've thrown the stats out there, would you revise your order at all?
No.
I'm going to revise mine because I'm not the football guy. I don't claim to be. I'm the baseball guy. So I had Edge and then Jerome. I'm going to go Jerome, then Edge.
Okay. You and me agree. All right. I love it.
The only reason I keep Edge at 1, even though the stats say a little bit differently, is that
The
he was one
intangibles,
of
they're
those-
not there.
If he,
The dreads.
well, no, if
The grill. He had that gold grill.
if he stays healthy a little bit longer, he was LT before LT.
He was,
he was Marshall Falk after Marshall Falk.
come
yeah.
on, man.
He's not that much. Don't act like he's a trendsetter.
Pay the respect. Talking about Roger Craig.
Roger effing Craig.
The original 1,000.
Well, now we're talking about Larry Centers.
Hey, man, easy on Larry Centers. Did you know a fullback once had over 100 catches?
We're going to go Mercury Morris. Are we going deep here?
You know, we had a meme that reached 3 million people this week that said, you know, dudes can just sit around and talk about old athletes and just have the
Dude,
best time. And
that's a bit-
Instead of the 6 degrees of Brett
Favre.
Favre, just do that with different athletes.
I thought it was the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
It was, but we turned it into Brett
All right.
Favre.
Also, that meme now, it's not even a meme, it's just a statement. It's completely true about us just talking sports, random names. It's up to 15,000 shares.
Yeah, that's but you know, that's what we do.
Statement.
I mean,
what
but
we
like
do.
literally, we've been sitting down there since we started and just naming out like we found out that the all-time triples leader, I think, was it triples or doubles?
It was triple.
Doubles.
No,
Owen Wilson.
Oh, that
that
was
was
the
triples.
triples. The doubles was
after 1925.
Yeah, Owen Wilson is the number one leader in MLB in triples,
single season.
Wow.
and it's not the actor, of course, because he had 36 in 1913.
Wow.
We got onto that because Matt Olson has 31 doubles.
Wow.
He has a chance to set the doubles record, and somehow we ended up on
In
the triples.
2022.
Isn't it amazing? That's what baseball can do for you.
Gift that keeps on giving,
before
like
we-
the Jelly of the Month
Before we
Club.
walk away from the Jelly of the Month Club, what is
jiggle right here.
well, we got a little boxing action coming up, right?
Oh, we do. We do.
And
Is
it's,
it boxing or MMA?
I don't know.
It's boxing.
Is it boxing?
So Frank Gore started a trend here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That ain't,
I think the winner should face Frank Gore, for the
no,
record.
Frank Gore is already 0-1.
Wow.
Remember, he got his butt knocked out.
Well,
Maybe Ocho Cinco.
yeah.
Because he actually had some game. I would like to see, because he
Ocho's
got
a
knocked
soccer
down
player.
and got up. he was like Rocky in Russia. You won the respect of the crowd because
He's like Chumbawamba.
Right. Well, that too. I fall down. That all you got? Get up again. You ain't ever gonna keep me down. All right, who's fighting? It's
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell
versus
Adrian Peterson.
Wow, he gonna beat him like his boy. You watch it. It's gonna happen.
like he's gonna make his child abuse all over again.
Yeah, you go pick your switch, boy. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Wow,
Come to
AD
the
will
ring.
do anything for a damn paycheck.
All day. Give me AD. He's
Hey,
got
the
it.
winner of this should face Ray Rice
That's
in an elevator.
that's like
no
fighting
holds
out
bars
of your-
match.
That's like fighting out of your weight class.
Ray beats women.
yeah,
Well, they ain't women.
yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Ray beats women.
Le'Veon's
AP
kind of
beats
womanish.
kids. Put them in the ring together.
what about can we get some Shady McCoy in here? Can we do like a triple threat match?
We can.
Let's just get all these coming of age running backs from the past 10 years, and
So let's get some divas in there. We got Ray Rice.
can we do a mixed tag?
Yes,
Dude, we can put like
No,
AFC.
Royal Rumble in an elevator.
Royal Rumble
So
in
you
an
got
elevator
Ray
Yeah,
Rice.
in a steel cage.
Correct.
Le'Veon
So we got
Bell.
Rice, Bell, Antonio Brown.
God, we got the whole AFC North in this.
Who
thing.
else we got that's a complete head case?
Can we just throw Baker Mayfield in there for fun?
We need to.
He's got nothing
Deshaun
going
Watson's
on.
got to go in.
Yeah, if he's on.
And then
Montez
for the
Perfect
fun
in
of
there.
it, throw in OJ in the glove.
And Bill Cosby's the referee. And the count to 3 and the 1 and the 2 and oh my
And we're
goodness.
going to do it in a tub of Jello and the pudding.
Well, I missed you guys last week. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
So hopefully you listened to the show long enough just to get to that complete nonsense. But anyway, we do like it when former athletes fight. It'll be entertaining.
Did we even say who's going to win?
I don't think it matters.
It don't matter.
I said,
But we're still going to watch it, damn it.
AD all day.
All right. Fair
Taking
enough.
Peterson.
Fair enough.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been another episode of the We Don't Know Sports podcast. Make sure you check out America's Pastime for the Love of Baseball. Get on the We Don't Know Sports YouTube page because we did an interview yesterday, checked in with our resident Baltimore Orioles expert, and you guys had a pretty fun conversation. So that's out there for your viewing pleasure, not only your listening pleasure. But make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We'll come and invade your ears each and every week. We'll be back next week. Enjoy your 4th of July holiday. Have a great weekend. Don't blow any fingers off. And we'll see you next time.
America.
Bye-bye.